Hi, I'm Christine Giordano, and we are here at the Southwest Institutional Forum. I'm here with Laura Montoya. She's the state treasurer of New Mexico. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to New Mexico.
Can you tell me about what's going on with New Mexico? What are some of the new initiatives?
Sure. So, in the New Mexico State Treasurer's Office, we manage about 20 billion, and I'm on 13 boards, councils, and commissions that have oversight of over 160 billion. We have the second largest sovereign wealth fund, anticipated to be number one in the next 7 to 10 years, and we have been investing in New Mexico in a lot of great investments that I sort of wanted to visit with you about.
Yes, and you were discussing earlier about some of the incredible mileage that you put into your wind power here.
Yes. So New Mexico in 2023 was ranked number one in energy efficiency job growth. We had over 13,000 jobs just in that area. We have all four seasons in New Mexico, so wind and solar are crucial and great for us here in New Mexico. So we have the largest wind turbine project in the Western Hemisphere. It's going to be about 550 miles of line. It produces into energy that we're going to be selling to Arizona and California. And we have a lot of other great projects. We have a huge project that's coming out in Doña Ana County. It's a data center that's being worked on. The cool thing about that one is that it has its own sustainability, so it doesn't negatively impact anyone in the area or their utility bills. The other one that's really big is Pacific Fusion. We just put a lot of money into Pacific Fusion, and we're investing in our own state and also the world by being able to be the front runner on that type of project. And we have another big project in Sandoval County that aligns with what's going on with our labs. We have two major labs here, Sandia National Labs and Los Alamos National Labs. So someone might say, why would I want to come to New Mexico? What's the educational system like for children? And so I would say, we're working on that also. We have uh, a new law that stated that financial literacy as a graduation requirement is a local option. So we have gone locally to school boards, superintendents, educators, students, and talked about financial literacy and why it's so important and how much money you can make working with money and in different realms throughout New Mexico. And so we have now gotten up to 60% of all of our school districts having financial literacy as a graduation requirement. The next step I'm working on with the University of New Mexico and some other universities is to potentially have a concentration in government budgeting, investing, and finance. And I think that's a critical aspect to help mitigate the outmigration that we're having in our younger people, for them to have sustainable jobs and also be really proud about working, for example, with our pension funds or our sovereign wealth fund. And so I think that's a critical aspect of small business people or people who want to invest in New Mexico or live in New Mexico, that their children are going to be adequately educated. The second component that I'm working on is something called baby bonds. And nationally, a lot of people know about baby bonds, but here in New Mexico, I want $7,000 for every child born in New Mexico and put it in a pool, which is about 700 million. And in doing so, the State Investment Council will invest it. And by the time that child turns 18 years old, it'll be about 15, 20 to $25,000. And then once they are about 35 years of age, if they didn't use it, because New Mexico also has free college for tuition for New Mexicans, then it'll be invested longer, compounded interest, and they'll have about 175,000 to 300,000. And then if they still haven't used it, they can also then decide to invest it in a 401k or do whatever they need to do to keep it invested and bridge the wealth divide, create generational wealth. So to me, I'm very excited about baby bonds, very passionate about financial literacy as a graduation requirement. And those are some of the cool things that are happening. We have daycare, free child daycare in the state. The governor and the legislature just put that into effect. And so we're really working hard to support our families and support our state, which then supports our economy.
Wow, that's quite a lot. Just some color on the baby bonds. How can people use that money?
So the legislature still has to create the policy, but my idea of it is to be able to use it for schooling. So the things that tuition can't pay for, because tuition is free here, so books, wherever they're going to be living, etc., so they don't have to work three jobs like I did and go to college. The second component is potentially the idea of a car, because we have found that the data has proven that between the ages of 17 and 23, 25, it's very difficult for people to get to and from school or to and from work without having a vehicle. You know, we're not like the East Coast where public transportation is very vibrant in our rural areas, so you need to have a vehicle in order to get there. And then the third component is entrepreneurship. So if they have a small business, they have a business proposal, this all gets vetted and they never get the money. So that's to be clear, they never get the money directly. So if it's for your schooling, the university gives you an invoice, the state of New Mexico will pay that invoice to the school in which it belongs to.
Nice.
So we were all 18 years of age at one point, so there's some safeguards in this aspect. And then after the entrepreneurial business side of it, there's also homeownership. The idea of being able to put down a certain payment for your first down payment of your own house or a business. And so, as expensive as it is, and as much as people are saying that younger people aren't going to be able to afford housing, this would be a great component to also create generational wealth and allow people to have safety and security for themselves and their families.
Well, how far do we have to go with the baby bonds? What next has to happen?
So I had a bill dropped last year that was introduced by Senator Mo Maestas and Senator Jaramillo, who's from this district area. And I'm hoping that we will get that revitalized and that the legislature will support this initiative. It's an investment into our children, our families, and our future. And it's one that we have been able to get Echo Northwest to prove that it will help with decrease in incarceration, decrease in property crime, increase in migration instead of out migration of our young people. So it helps with a lot of other factors that bridge that wealth divide, that build the economy, and that build our families.
Thank you, Treasurer
You're welcome.
Montoya.
Have a good day.
You too.